Hello! Hi, everybody! How are you guys doing? What are you guys reading? Thank you guys for joining me. I've got Kat here. Kat, check out Kat's channel. She's my BFF. She's over at Kat's Novel Adventures, as you can see on the on the screen right now. I was about to say, can I point to the right place will be the question. There it is. Hi, Kat. I am home from vacation today. So I just got back. Hi, William. Froggy! I was with your creatures, Froggy. I was with freaking all kinds of creatures. It was crazy. Went down to Key West, and we also went like other places in Florida, but I saw all kinds of creatures. We went snorkeling. I saw freaking a turtle and a nurse shark and lots of fish. And Paul missed seeing the turtle. It was really funny. I was like, look, there's a turtle. And he's like, where? He was fooling with his snorkel and he missed it. I was like, how did you miss the turtle? Heidi, how are you? Hi, Abigail. Hi. Cool Gamer. Hi, how are you? Katrina. Oh, Book Songs and Other Magic. Hey. My boy Andrew. Check out Andrew's channel, also Katrina's channel, also Book Songs and Other Magic's channel. Everyone has a channel these days, but you should check them out because that's what BookTube's all about, supporting each other. Hi. Funny, Ocean Graveyard. We were just talking about the ocean. Some of the coral reefs were bleached, unfortunately, but where we were snorkeling, since I just got back from vacation, it was still colorful for the most part. Fairy Tale, hi. Hello. I'm eating dinner, but I'm trying to finish Sign Here. I'm listening to and then read Endless Night. Oh, Endless Night by Richard Lehman. I'm scared, Katrina. Did you even start Endless Night yet, or you haven't started it? I'm actually in the middle of watching your last Paperback from Hell vlog. I don't think I finished it yet. Yeah, I'm in the middle of it. I am trying to catch up on all my BookTube watching. I'll tell everybody what I'm reading in a second. I'm in the middle of like 4 books right now. Hi, Sarah. Reading episode 13 and listening to such sharp teeth. I loved episode 13. I hope you are having fun with it. I actually listened to the audiobook. The audiobook's fantastic for that book. Jason, thank you so much for your recent comment on my, what was that video? My top 20 trashiest paperbacks from hell or whatever. I really appreciate your sweet comment. I didn't get to respond yet. I'm so bad about responding, but please know that I do see all of my comments and they mean a lot to me. And I'm like, oh, but then I'm freaking a shitty human and never respond right away. I'm so bad at that. The second the music hit, I got goosebumps. I've been looking forward to this. I'm currently finishing Hobgoblin, a really bonkers and goofy paperback from hell. Is that the one with the Dungeons and Dragons plot line where what exactly happens? Something about like I think it has to do with Dungeons and Dragons and how they're making it like seem like it's all bad and stuff, if I'm remembering correctly. Or it's got some kind of Irish theme. I know Alex over at the channel The Bookubus, she was like, we should buddy read that one day. And I was like, hell yeah. It'd be perfect to read in March. Because I think it's got some kind of Irish flair to it, if I'm not mistaken. It was awesome. Key West fun. I love snorkeling with turtles. Yeah, we went snorkeling in Isla Morado. I don't know how you say it exactly, but we went snorkeling like 2 hours north from Key West. Not in Key West itself because the water there was really dirty and gross. But Key West, we just spent like one night there, and I gotta say, I didn't really love it just because it's a little bit like Bourbon Street, but the whole place is like that. I'm like, what the hell? But it was still, we had a great time. I am just sore because I got really sick, aka hungover as hell, but also like uber sick overnight. Like bleh, that kind of sick. It was horrible. It was terrible. I almost couldn't go snorkeling the next day because that was like when we were going to go snorkeling was the day after we spent the night in Key West, and I was just decimated. We had to stop by the side of the road and I got sick again the next day. Like, that's how you know it's bad. It's real bad. Not reading anything yet. Working on Garbogus vlog week 3. I've got to catch up on your Garbogus vlogs, Kat. I'm so behind. I am so proud of you reading trash. It's so cool. I've only been to Key West one time, and the entire week it stormed, never saw a sunset, and our snorkel trip got canceled. I will say I didn't see the sunset there. We did take a picture there's like a landmarker which marks the southernmost spot of the United States. They're like, oh, it's the southernmost spot. We took a picture by there, but we we also had a big storm, and Paul got caught in the rain and he got drenched because I was back at the hotel and he had to go get our car because it was parked far away, and he got soaked. But it cleared up. Yeah, you need to go back. I mean, I even would go back, even though it wasn't my favorite place ever. There's still probably a lot of food places that we didn't get to try. Katrina is about to endless DNF. Oh no. Like your earrings. Thank you. They're like Lisa Frank. You know, like the color pattern kind of with the leopard print color rainbow. It's definitely inspired by Lisa Frank. These are from Femme de Bloom is the company. A lot of my earrings are from there. Very affordable earrings. And it's great to support small creators and small businesses. So she makes a lot of pop culture stuff, a lot of 90s stuff, but also like early 2000s, Halloween-y stuff. So she has a great shop. I definitely recommend her shop. I have tons of earrings from her. Stephanie, I'm so glad you're here. How are you? Eating dinner? Yeah, Paul is heating up dinner right now. So I will, during the first sprint, I'll be eating, like, we have so many leftovers. We brought an ice chest with us on our road trip to Florida, and we brought back so many leftovers, including if we drink tonight. I'm scared to drink it because it was one of the things that helped make me sick, I think. We had a rum runner, which was created in the Keys. It's like they were preparing for a hurricane, and this bartender was like, yo, we're gonna like put all these, like whatever I have at the bar in this drink. And so they called it a rum runner. And I had a frozen one in Key West, but we actually passed by the tiki bar that created it, apparently. We didn't go in because by that time it was the next day and I was like, I need to chill. Like, I need to chill with drinking. I'm gonna die. I'm like legit gonna die. I DM'd you about Endless Night, but I'm actually not hating it. Oh, I didn't see the DM yet. Oh no. I gotta look, Katrina. I know you were gonna start Endless Night because you were like, what's your favorite layman? But I haven't seen if you updated me about it. It's all about a fantasy role-playing game, and it's got all kinds of Irish stuff going on. This definitely fits the Garbogus theme. I'm excited because if it's bonkers and fun, I'm definitely going to read that for an upcoming March for St. Patrick's Day, because there are very few Irish-themed horror books that you could read. I mean, you could read Irish horror authors or Irish Gothic authors, like, you know, Bram Stoker, that would count. But I want stuff that has like Irish things in the actual story. So I looked up a list, and it's this list I've been keeping for like the last year and a half. And I'm going to keep reading the thematic stuff from the list, which is basically just best, you know, Irish thematic horror to read around St. Patrick's Day. There's very few lists, fewer than you would think, that talk about Irish horror. So I saved the list, and I'm like, I'm going to refer to this list for future St. Patty's Day, because I always do a St. Patrick's Day vlog, which is like a fun thing I like to do. Was listening to Confessions of a Shopaholic, not liking it as much as the movie. Oh no! I hope you start to like it more. Party on, Kelsey! I almost party a little too much. I'm alive though. I'm alive. I should have asked you and Andrew to do. We should have done Crunk Bunch sprints, but I just didn't know if anyone was gonna be free, and I was like, I should just do solo sprints in case I'm, you know, gotta leave or something, or who knows what's gonna happen. Sounds great. I'm a D&D player, so I'd relate. Yeah, like, I think it's probably going to be a fun book, but it's probably trying to demonize D&D, which is terrible, because back in the day, you know, there was, like, that panic, which would count for cashing in on a moral panic for Garbogus, because I think that's what the book was trying to do, saying, like, the role-playing games, they're terrible, no, they're evil. Froggy, that happened to me one time in the Galapagos during our spring break. All my friends were traveling to the next island, and I had to stay behind an extra night because I was so hungover. I almost stayed behind snorkeling, and Paul was like, thank God I convinced you to go. I was like, I know, I would have been so sad if I missed out on that experience. Oh, Lexi, can't stay because I have an audiobook due tonight, and I'm going to finish it like 2 minutes before it's due if I don't pause it anymore. Oh my gosh. Good luck, Lexi. Thank you for stopping by. I miss you. Never been to Key West, but would love to go there. I have a beach photograph, at Key West that Maria Estevez took. That's our friend from when we worked together, me and Kat. I bought it from the art auction. Oh, cool. I didn't know she took a photograph down there. Kelly, welcome back from vacation. I started Killer Tomatoes. We're buddy reading Killer Tomatoes. I'm doing 2 buddy reads starting this week. One with Andrew, which is our buddy reread of Twilight. We're both rereading Twilight. Yes, the Twilight by, Stephanie Meyer. We're rereading that this week. and we're going to do a drunk commentary for my Patreon at the end of the week. And I'm also buddy reading Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It's a novelization by Jeff Strand. Kelly's starting tonight because she's got work tomorrow, but I'm going to start that tomorrow because I need to finish these 3 books I'm working on. Over 100 pages into Endless Night so far, not bad, liking that it's fast-paced. Yeah, I like Endless Night a lot because it's really tense and scary, and it's got the worst bad guy of all time. I am so glad I went too, because if Paul was like, I saw a shark, and I would have been like crying, like, no, like I've always wanted to see a shark. In fact, when at first he pointed out the nurse shark, I was trying to like go after it, but then I would have left the group behind, so I was like, I better stay back. But I wanted to like chase the shark and follow him. I'm like, oh, because I love sharks. Anyway, so speaking of sharks, one of the things I'm reading is the cover fell off. It's so sad, and it's literally like falling apart every time I even touch this. So it's Jaws the Revenge. This is the cover that fell off and is literally breaking apart. I mean, it is from is this late 70s or early 80s? It's an old book, so it's from the late 80s. So this edition's from 1987, so it is old, but usually my old paperbacks are in way better condition than this. I did get it from thrift books, so it's not holding up so good. The story is a lot of fun. It is different than the movie. If you guys have seen the movie is ridiculous. Great white shark comes into the Bahamas area. Totally absurd, but it's like it's chasing her in the movie with like no rhyme or reason. In the book, there's like a voodoo subplot, and that is why the shark is like weirdly drawn to the Bahamas to chase her. And it's because the guy who puts this curse on her, or who kind of inflicts this upon her, knows about her, if that makes sense to you. But yeah, I only have, let's see, I think 54 pages. Oh no. Oh man, I've got 63 pages. I thought I had around 50, but it's almost 50. So I'm almost done this, and this has no audio. So I've been reading it, and I started it before snorkeling, but after I was done and I didn't get attacked or killed by a shark, I was like, okay. Because Paul was like, you're trying to jinx us. I was like, no, I'm not. So I'm also reading Fear by Ronald Kelly. I'm about 50% into this. I'm listening to it on audio. This is wonderful. It's almost made me cry like 6 times already, and I'm only 50% into the freaking book. There is this grandma, and she's sick, and I was so close to my grandma on my mom's side. I didn't know my other grandma on my dad's side very well, but my mom's side, I was very close to her. So when she got sick, I was like devastated by it. So like reading this little grandson and his worries about his grandma, and also about what's going to happen to him and his father, got a concussion during the war in this book. And, he doesn't even recognize his own son. He kind of has like a childlike manner. And so, the son's like, what's going to happen to me and dad? Like, I'm going to be sent to the orphanage. Dad's going to be sent to like the sanitarium. Like, what the hell's going to happen to us if grandma passes away? And it's almost made me cry like 6 or 7 times. And I'm like, this book, but is a creature feature essentially, but with a lot of heart so far. I'm loving it a lot. And last but not least, I know you guys are probably wanting to sprint. We will sprint. I'm just catching up with everybody. I'm also currently just over 50% into, let's see, I'm literally 256 pages into Schrader's Chord. This is an advanced reading copy from Tor Nightfire, and I was so stoked that they asked me if I wanted a copy, and I was like, oh hell yeah, bitch. Like, it wasn't even through NetGalley, it was like through Tor Nightfire, and I am loving this book so much. It has a lot of fun references, like old school references, but it doesn't take place in the past, and it doesn't use nostalgia like to a sickening degree. Like, it's not set in the 90s, or every other sentence isn't 90s things. It's just little things. Like, this guy, one of the bands that he is just signed to his label was called the Mightier Ducks, and he's trying to convince the band to change their name because he's like, we can't use that name. Disney's gonna sue us. The Mightier Ducks. And the main character's name is Charlie, so I thought it was funny as he was talking about the Mightier Ducks. I was like, oh, Charlie was in the Mighty Ducks. It is a thick book, as Kelly just said. She said, that is a thick boy. It is, but it's reading so fast. Literally, I got 256 pages in only in 2 sittings. And I would have kept going, but I was only reading in the car because I was like, when I'm not in the car, I want to do my audiobook listening. So I was only physically reading in the car. I probably could have been done if I wasn't splitting my reading time between this and Jaws. This is really, really interesting. Essentially, like, this guy dies and he leaves his sons and his daughters these records, and when they play the records, something mysterious and bad happens, and now, like, certain characters in here can see dead people. The whole question is why. It kind of is reading almost like a mix between a thriller and a horror, but not in a bad way. I'm not super big into thrillers, but this is reading like one in a good way. And I'm loving the characters. It's one thing that I really like. There are a lot of characters, so not everyone would love it, but I'm really loving it. And I think the atmosphere is great. The shark did not roar like in Jaws the Revenge, the nurse shark that I saw snorkeling. It did not roar. But I am loving the book because it is a little absurd. But I also like the characters. There's a lot of grief. I don't know what it is about me and grief horror, but like all of these books have grief in them in one way or another. I mean, no one's died like in Fear, but there's grief in there because his grandma is sick. So, and like somebody died in here, there's grief there. Ellen is trying to get over like the death of her son in this. So there's grief in all these books. What's with me and grief? Apparently I like it a lot. I like grief horror a ton, and I don't know why. Oh no, Froggy's been majorly slumping this month, but I'm going to try to read some more of the Meg tonight. I was going to read the Meg as part of like my Animal Attack week, which these books are a part of that. It was like Demons and Animal Attack combined. But I didn't even get to start the Meg on vacation. I just ran out of time. So yeah. Halko! Hi! I like my voice cracked. I'm like, Halko! Everyone's welcoming Halko. I tape my loose book covers. It's almost like this one's so bad. It's like beyond taping. Like, it's so bad. At this point, I think I'm going to cut it up. Since it wasn't a truly vintage find, I got it from Thrift Books. It is vintage itself, but I think I'm going to cut it up and put it in my reading binder. So I'll cut the title out, and that'll be cool. Kat is welcoming Halko. Ronald Kelly is such a great author and a great guy in general. Kelly interviewed Ronald Kelly. It's funny, your name's Kelly, his last name's Kelly. He seems awesome. I love this book so far. I'm really, really having a great time with it. Yeah, look out for him. I'm having an awesome, and it's awesome that there's an audiobook, but I will warn anybody, because this is, not this, sorry, wrong book. Too many books. This is one of my book club picks. If you guys are wondering, I do have a book club. We have a Discord. It's free and open to everybody. And we have 3 potential reads this month. We only have one book that's going to be having a live show, which is, oh my God, Kelly, what is it? It's the John Ferris book. All Heads Turn When the Hunt Goes By. That is the book club book. We're going to have a book club chat about, me and my friend Kelly, who's in the chat right now. This is her channel. Check her out. Follow her. Sub, please. And anyway, that's one of the books we're going to be talking about. But there are discussion areas on my Discord for the other 2 books, Fear being one of them, and Stinger by Robert McCammon being another, which I'm going to start this week. But yeah. If anyone wants to read Fear and wants to pick up the audiobook's a little hard to understand at fast speeds, just to warn anybody, because there is a very thick accent. It's almost like a drawl for the narration. So just be warned by that. I had to slow down my listening speed for this book so far. But, I'm just now getting really used to the voice, 50% in, so I'm not struggling as much listening to it. It's a great voice. It's nothing wrong with the voice. It's just a little hard at a higher speed. That's all. Schrader's Court has a lot of really cool advertising, and hearing it's good makes me excited. I've been seeing the advertising, like, Cameron's been reposting a lot of it, and I just followed the author, Scott Leeds, on Instagram, and he's got a cool page, and definitely the promotion for it and the advertising and the marketing looks amazing. Like, they're doing a great job, like, using book quotes with, like, these cool, vintagey, weird-looking advertisements. It's awesome. They're doing a great job, and I'm loving it. I need to make notes on what I need to buy here. I know. I love finding out about new books. Killer Tomatoes will be a lighter read. I feel like I have been just reading ridiculous books so far, even though all of these have grief in them. The other books earlier in the week, like I read, it was called Jurassic Florida by Hunter Shea. That one had like a whole bunch of giant lizards. I also read Radis New Yorkus, which was Ollie from Criminale, the channel Criminale, his Patreon book club pick. That was ridiculous, but actually kind of sweet. There's a love story in that, and I liked it. So I did have some lighter reads at the beginning of like this week, but yeah, Killer Tomatoes will be a good lighter read compared to these grief books. Kelly says it's ridiculous so far, which makes me excited because I love Jeff Strand and his sense of humor. So that is awesome. Never heard of Schrader's Chord. I like a lot of the characters if they are well. I like lots of characters if they are well developed. I'm sorry I can't read, Kat. I know it's not you, it's me. And look at this cover, Kat. It is a freaking skull as a record. Isn't that cool? Very cool. I'm in love with the cover. I know. I can't wait for Cameron's new book too. I'm like dying for the new book. He's like, it's coming, it's coming. I can't wait. And of course, she's talking about Cameron Chaney, the wonderful, wonderful host of Library Macabre and author of Autumn Crow. And he's also releasing a new book, which will be the first in a series of books. So I'm excited about that. I know the cover design's so great. I would love to have a poster of that. That would be so cool and so summery. All right, now I swear I'm going to sprints. And if you guys don't mind, I hope it's okay. I think the first one's going to be an hour so I could eat and get some reading done. And I've got a Halloweeny spooky cat set up for Pomodoro Kitty. Just I'm gonna accept that I can't speak today, and I hope you guys can accept it too, because it's just the way it is today. Here it comes. Come on, cat. Cat with a C, not my friend Cat with a K. So here is our Halloween looking kitty, and I'm hoping it's okay, but I will see you guys in an hour. And if you have to go, well, then I'll see you guys next time. And thank you so much for hanging out, but hopefully I'll see most of you guys afterwards. And yay, spooky cat Halloween kitty, spooky hat Halloween kitty. Yes. All right, guys, see you in an hour. Hello! How did everybody do? Get that cat out of there for a second. Halloweeny cat! I continued with reading Fear by Ronald Kelly. That's what I did. And now I am, I think, like 68% in. It says I only have an hour and 6 minutes left at the speed I'm listening to, so gonna finish tonight, I think, which will be great if that is true. If that is accurate, which it should be. Katrina likes the cat that I chose with the Halloweeny colors. Halloween kitty. Heidi's like, we need a Pomodoro cat, like my friend Cat. That would be funny. Cat likes that. Rally, hi! Oh my gosh, Sev! I love you, Sev. It's spooky season, she says. Yes, it's spooky season. It is kind of like early spooky season to me. I have not done Halloween hunting except for one place I've gone to on the way to our vacation. There was a Christmas village and they had a Halloween room, and I bought like 2 things or 3 things that were Halloweeny. It was expensive, but I was like, I haven't bought anything, so I'm just gonna do it. So that's the one place I've stopped at. I have to go Halloween hunting very soon. And this year I've made an executive decision that I am going to frickin' start decorating on September 1st, which I've never done. I've always done it September 23rd or like later. Well, when I lived with my parents, we did it like, we started in like, I don't know, what month did we start? We started in like April or something, because maybe just after April, because my dad used to throw a big party and we used to decorate the whole house. So it was a whole big thing. It took like 6 months of the year to get it ready. And then the day of the party, we still were not ready. We were like running around, throwing stuff in their cars to try to hide like junk that was everywhere. And we sometimes would forget to turn on or plug in some of the Halloween decorations. So we would have them set up, but we would forget to switch the on switch. It's ridiculous. Froggy got 50% into the Meg. Yay, Froggy! That is good progress. 50 pages of episode 13. Yeah, Sarah, that's awesome. How are you liking it, by the way? Got another 30 pages in, but got distracted. That's okay. That's still good, Abby. That's still a good progress. That's still good progress. I can speak. I DNF'd the book because it was too good and then went back to reading video game tie-ins. What book was too good, Andrew? Tell us. I've got a lot of headroom, which means like the space above my head. I only have 3% of Signed Here left. It's okay. Aw, I'm sorry you're not like in love with it. That sucks. I heard that one's funny. I think that's the one with like the devil horns on the front or something. Oh my god, I cannot speak. I read 52 pages of Pinata by Leopoldo Gout, I think it is, right? I think. I was supposed to read Pinata months ago for Seb's book club, but I didn't get to finish it. 77% into my book and still have 5.5 hours left. Oh my gosh! How is that? It must be a really long book, Jill, I'm guessing. I was watching my vlog before uploading to YouTube. I forgot music in one section, so I added music and text in a spot, and now I have to resave it to my iPad, then watch it again. Grr. I hate when that happens. At least you didn't already upload it, because I am like a weirdo for some reason, and I will like quickly run through it before I export it, but then I will watch it again once it's uploaded, and there's been a few times where I found things after I've uploaded the video to YouTube and it's unlisted, and I'm like, damn it, like I really want to fix this, so I have to fix it, re-export it, re-upload it, and it's dumb. Like, why didn't I just check it the first time? Like when it was still in the timeline and I didn't export it? But at least you caught it. Oops, I didn't skip it, did I? Okay, good. I finished Hobgoblin and it wasn't great. It definitely wasn't hating on D&D and other role-playing games, or at least that's what I gathered per the ending. I had fun with it, though. I am glad that you had fun, but I'm sorry it wasn't great. But I hope it was, like, so bad it was enjoyable, maybe. I wasn't a big fan of Signed Here either, Katrina. Oh, that's a bummer. I haven't read that one. It was called Kong Reborn, and it was a King Kong book, but it was legit too well written. It wasn't garbage in your mind. You were like, this is too good, chef's kiss. I can understand that. Like, I feel like this obviously isn't trash, but I have to read it before it comes out so I could talk about it before the release date. So I'm like not pretending. It does have a vintagey feel to it. So I'm like, haha, it can count as like, like kind of for Garb August in terms of it's got to be a wreck from hell feel. So I'm kind of trying to cheat and make this work, but I don't think that's trash either. I think it's well written. Now I'm reading Southern Fried Rat and Other Gruesome Tales. Talk about a Garb August pick. I have a book that I found at a used bookstore called Play It Again Spam, and it's like a cozy mystery, and like this woman owns this Amish inn, and her husband was like a bigamist, or she found out he was a bigamist or something, and she's like, I'm gonna divorce you. And then I don't know what else. So people get murdered at like her inn, and she's got to find out what's going on because the sheriff is distracted because he's dating her daughter or something. This is all what I remember from the back of the book, the back summary. But I wanted to get to it so bad for Garb August, but there's no way. Like my TBR pile was like so big and absurd. And I was like, haha, I'll get to all this, right? And then no. I didn't even get to my famous person book, which is supposed to be a memoir by Sam Neill. Then I thought about randomly adding Steve-O's, not memoir. I mean, it's, he wrote his life story out. And I was like, oh, it would be fun to read Steve-O's life story. Didn't get to that either. Whatevs. The hell stuff is kind of funny, but the family drama stuff is boring. Aw, bummer. Kelly agrees with Katrina. Hi. I'm reading One Piece and Pokemon manga. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Apparently, I'm channeling Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. Read another 100 plus pages over the novelization I'm reading. Cool. What's the novelization you're reading? Did you already tell me? I don't think you did. I'm going to start reading. It's a reread from Cat's Youth. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Reading it for the coming of age square for summer book bingo. Oh, cool. I would love to read that book. I somehow never read it when I was younger, even though like everybody read that book. I somehow have not read that book. Is anyone reading You Weren't Supposed to Die Tonight for Amy's August YA Horror Club? I'm not reading that one, but I am going to be reading her September pick. I'm excited. I'm going to be like a part of the September pick. But I'm not reading that one. I have fallen off on my book club participation on a lot of book clubs. Like I still have to read my friend Katrina's book club book. I've got to read my friend Amy's book club book for this month. I'm failing miserably this month in terms of I'm actually doing good for having been on vacation, but I'm not really doing the way I want to, progressing the way I want to, essentially. I read that when it first came out, said Kelly. Steve-O wrote a book. Amazing. Apparently it's like really interesting. And like Steve-O's really cool now. And we're talking about Steve-O from Jackass. He is like apparently, I don't know. I have to check his ads all the time because the company I work for, it's like an ad agency. And so we have to check podcast ads. And Steve-O's ads are like my favorite. He's always like, this is great if you want to get rid of bad habits. I don't know. He's just totally changed. And he's like so pro animals, and I don't know. I just really like him. I really respect him, and he seems amazing as a person. So I really like Steve-O, and that's why I want to read his book, but it would totally be appropriate for Garb August. Death of the Planet of the Apes, tie-in, not novelization. Oh, well, I hope you're enjoying it. That sounds like a fun one. If memory serves me correctly, I read Margaret in the 6th grade. Wow, Kat. I'm sure it's going to be like a whole new read for you because it's been so long since you first read it, But I'm sure there might be like parts where you maybe faintly remember a feeling or, when you first experienced it. Buddy reading it with Michael K. Vaughan. That sounds like fun. Sounds like a good buddy read, in my opinion. It was so good. Oh, I'm glad you loved it. I read You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. I enjoyed it. The ending was great for me. I'm going to have to read that one. There's so many books I want to read. It's overwhelming. I know you guys understand. So I feel good saying it to you guys because you guys get it. I still have 2 book club picks to read, FOMO and Middle Grade March. I know. I'm so behind right now. I'm enjoying episode 13. Excited to see what's going to happen next. Yeah, that one's so much fun. I heard Steve-O's book is actually good. I've heard the same thing, and I don't doubt it because of just having listened to a lot of his ads on his podcast. I don't know. He just is such an interesting guy, and he's got crazy stories, and how he went from a guy putting like tubes up his butt, like enemas like of beer and stuff, to like a guy caring about wildlife and like just being a really responsible dude but still with a sense of humor. I just think it's a great story. I don't know. I love Steve-O. I love Sign Here, but it is a weird mix of funny hell book and domestic thriller. That makes sense. He seems like a cool person now. He really does. I fell off of book clubs too. I feel bad I haven't gotten to your book club books in the last few months. It's okay, Andrew. To be fair, my book club books have been long and I've had multiple choices. Like this month, 3 potential choices, which everyone's probably like, Kelsey, just pick one. But I couldn't pick one, and I'm kind of glad with the multiple choices. So I technically still have 2 of my own book club books to read, and that's going to be this week. But it's a theme I'm doing for a vlog I'm doing. I think it's going to be demons, aliens, and bats and vampires. So like that's like the little themes. Obviously it's kind of like creatures. It's mostly, I think it's more vampires than bats, but bats are there too. So I don't know. Anyway, it's all kinds of things. Demons wouldn't be involved, but now that I am reading, what am I reading? If I read Katrina's book club book, that has to do with demons, I think. So that would like, I'd have to throw in demons in there. I'm curious about the movie adaptation of Margaret. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I actually know a friend. Paul and I visited his friend and his wife, and they're very nice. She saw Margaret. She has a friend who has like a young daughter, like around 13 or 14, and like all of this group of women were like, can we go see it with you and your daughter? And like the lady was like, okay, and the daughter was all like weirded out that all these like, you know, this group of older ladies wanted to go with her and her mom to see the movie. But anyway, long story short, Paul's friend Gaia, or his friend's wife Gaia, liked the movie a lot. She said it was wonderful. And the funny thing is, so Judy Blume, right, wrote that. We thought that Judy Blume owned the bookstore in Key West. She said she thought she had heard that Judy Blume owned the bookstore down there. And I went to the bookstore in Key West. But there was an older woman behind the counter, but I don't think it was Judy Blume. If it was Judy Blume and I went in there, it would have been weird looking back now that I didn't say anything if it was her. It was such a great end of the summer read. Been too busy in readathons and life to grab book club picks. I know. I always have to do those as an extra on top of readathon stuffs, and it's hard. I don't know if it fits into anything, but I'm reading Where Are Your Boys Tonight. It's all about the emo explosion of the late 90s and 2000s. That sounds like so much fun. Emo, that's like the blast from the past. That's amazing. Early 2000s emo. Let's see if I could remember anything. Well, I like the Fall of Troy and stuff. I don't know if that would be counted as emo, or Chiodos, stuff like that. Like feels kind of emo to me, but I don't know if it truly is emo. But I really like those bands. I think it was in the early 2000s I liked them. It might have been the mid 2000s. What's your favorite Layman books, and do you like Graham Masterton? I've only read 2 Masterton books, and I've read Endless Night, The Cellar, Funland, A Night in the Lonesome October. Okay, so I've read like 5 Richard Layman books, more than I thought. I thought it was only 4. So I've read 5 Layman books and 2 Masterton books. 1 Graham Masterton book I thought was really fun. It was like a 4-star. That one's called Walkers. I really enjoyed that one. It was gruesome. People were being pulled into sidewalks and stuff, like pulled down into cement, and they were like all bloodied and things. That one was crazy, but it was also weird, and it was a little too long. So it was a 4-star. You know, there's some gripes, but it was fun. The other Graham Masterton book was so insanely wild. So it's Ritual slash, what's the other name for it? Guys, you know, the one with the boiling pot, the kid in the boiling pot. Ritual slash Feast? Yeah, Feast. Okay. So it's known by 2 different names. I had a hardcover that was called Ritual for it. And you could find it on ebook as Ritual. And I did it as a book club pick like a year and a half ago from my book club. And everyone had the same opinion, basically. No one like gave it a 5-star for the most part. We all kind of gave it a 3.5-star because it was too long, too drawn out. But the parts where like things happened, it was crazy. was basically about these group of cannibals. It was like a cult. It was insane. But at the same time, I didn't love it. But it was also freaking bonkers at times. So Graham Masterton, I've got to read more to really determine like if I love his stuff or not. I was supposed to read a book by him this month called The Wells from Hell, which I heard was good, from Will Erickson. If you guys don't know who Will Erickson is, he is like the co-author of Grady Hendrix's Paperbacks from Hell nonfiction book. So Will Erickson helped provide a lot of the scans of the book covers you see in the book because he's got a huge collection, and he also helped with the research, and he does a lot of intros, if you guys don't know, of the Paperback from Hell reprints that have been released by Valiant Court Books. So yeah, Will Erickson's a big name in vintage horror, and Will Erickson really liked The Wells. I can't remember if it's The Wells of Hell or The Wells from Hell. I would guess it'd be The Wells from Hell. That's a Graham Masterton book that I had on my 23 books to read in 2023, and it's supposed to be this month that I read it, and I still haven't done it, but there's no audio. But that one sounds like fun. I think that'll be my next Graham Masterton read, even if I don't get to it this month. So do you like Masterton? And my favorite layman books, I really love Endless Night. That's my number one favorite. After that, The Cellar is freaking redonkulous. Like, The Cellar is ridiculous. I don't know if I would recommend The Cellar to anybody. Did I have fun with it? Yes. Maybe I'm messed up. But The Cellar was fun. What other layman book do I love? I really do like A Night in the Lonesome October, but I was telling my friend Andrew, who's here in the chat, that I can't even explain the book. Like, it's a really weird book, essentially about a dude going on a long walk, creeping and peeping. It's kind of like he's noticing that like the neighborhood that he's walking in is like Twin Peak-esque at night. Like, it's really creepy and weird, and it's like the Twilight Zone at night. But then like the end devolves and becomes so insane. Like, I can't even explain why I like that one. So yeah, I guess my top 3 layman books. Oh, thank you. My Leftover Rum Runner from Flying Monkeys Saloon, which is on Duval Street, which is like the big Bourbon Street or type of street in had like a piece of dust on there in Key West. So isn't this a cool logo though? It's like the flying monkeys from The Wizard of Oz, but it's got a drink in his hand. The only reason I wanted a drink was to have a thing with the logo, and this is one of the things that, combined with a lot of other key lime flavored things, I got sick. Sweet cocktails, not a good idea, mixed with beer and stuff. No. But yes, favorite layman, definitely Endless Night, hands down. Second favorite, A Night in the Lonesome October, but I wouldn't suggest that one if you're trying to get into layman. A Night in the Lonesome October, it's too weird, it's too non-plot focused. Very plot focused Endless Night, I think, and it's very tense and fast paced. I don't want to lose my spot. Here we go. Sorry. Gonna do a book club buddy read in September. Yellow Face. Ooh, I've heard a lot about that one. I've heard a lot of people talking about that. Joining in late. First time here, but I'm reading The Silent Patient. Hi, Kimberly. Thank you for stopping by. Ooh, The Silent Patient. Kat, is that the book you just read? Was it The Silent Patient? I can't remember. That one in that vlog you just did not that long ago. I hope you're enjoying it, Kimberly. How are you liking it? Everyone is welcoming Kimberly. Yay! I love when people welcome people. Currently teaching my parents how to learn to raise their eyebrow. Like The Rock. Like what? I can't do it, Froggy. Yeah, I can't do it. Frick. I want to learn how to do the one. It's too hard. These are surprisingly hinged. I'm sorry, Andrew, I know. We're always, me and Andrew, when we sprint together, it's hinged. But, like, I've had a really long day and actually a really long last 10 days of traveling. I went to bed at, like, 9 o'clock last night or 9:30. I was so freaking beat. And so today I'm, like, rejuvenated. And I'm also like, oh, I'm trying to be productive. And so I'm being very hinged, as Andrew's saying. Usually when he and I are together, or even just me solo, I get pretty unhinged and I'm like, and I get crazy and funny and wild, but I'm kind of like normal right now. So Kimberly, I apologize in advance if I get a little crazy and wild sometimes, but I am hinged right now. I am hinged. But we are so happy you're here. Read my first Masterton recently called The Red Hotel. That was good. Ooh, that one sounds fun. I'm going to have to check that one out. Look up the premise on Goodreads. That's what I'll do. Love The Silent Patient. Hope you're enjoying it. Wells from Hell sounds like something Nick Cage would sing in the Color Out of Space movie. I know. That well there was crazy. The color in the sky, insane. I love that movie. The color scheme, amazing. Awesome logo for the flying monkeys, I know. And the drink's pretty good too. It's very sweet. It held up. It was completely frozen. Paul added ice, I could tell. We brought it back in our ice chest. One of the many things we brought back. So far, I'm loving it, Froggy. I call her Froggy, by the way. That's why I didn't read it the way you wrote it. About halfway through and I can't put it down. That's great. That's a great feeling when you have that. Yeah, I read The Sound Patient. It was a 3-star read for me. Yeah, so I remembered right. Kelsey, don't apologize. It's nice and relaxing. Your hinge sprints are fun too. You are good at all types of sprints. Thank you. Well, I know, remember how we always joke how we're like, we don't want no hinges. Get out of here, hinges. Like, we hate you. Like, we hate hinges. No hinges for us. But, you know, we are going to be crunk and totally unhinged on Friday night. So I figured we should be, or I should be, hinged right now. Although I am drinking, or about to drink. So who knows what will happen. Oh, yes. Froggy says, these are sprints and not sprints. Like my usual, sometimes I do sprints and they're sprints, which are not real. They're just like, let's like hang out and like be crazy and say crazy things, and Froggy can make t-shirts of what we said. I love those sprints though. Those are fun too. I mean, any kind of sprints is fun in my opinion, but I do extra love the unhinged kind. But I'm trying not to get too crazy. It's my first day back at work tomorrow, and I'm sad as hell. I have the Sunday blues. I know I've been on vacation, so I shouldn't complain, but I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back at all. What's going on this Friday? Are we doing a drunken reading sprint? No, but Andrew and I are going to be recording drunk movie commentaries, and I might make one public. They're usually for my Patreon channel, so that's like a special like bonus for the middle and top tier, but I think I might make the Twilight one available to everybody so people could see kind of the style of how we do it. So we're reading or rereading Twilight this week, and we're going to be rewatching Twilight together while crunk. And it's going to be so much fun. I'm very excited. And we're also going to watch another movie, but we haven't picked it out yet. I know Andrew sent some suggestions. I think one of the suggestions you sent, Andrew, I'd already seen. Well, not the Godzilla one. I did not see that. The other one you mentioned I saw. What was it? I saw it like, I've been really not active on Instagram with my DMs lately, so I am so sorry about that. We have a whole bunch of drunk commentaries up on my Patreon right now that I'm very proud of. There are like my favorite things in the world. Like Andrew and I just go crazy. Like there's one where I literally say penis and pepperoni tits like so much in like these drunk commentaries. It might sound random, but it makes sense in context. And here's Christine right in time for me talking about pepperoni tits and freaking other things. We will be doing hungover reading sprints the next day if you want to. I wasn't going to mention that. I wanted to make sure you still wanted to. Yes, we will be doing hungover sprints the next day, which is Saturday. A drunk Twilight reaction could get big views. I'm very excited about it, but of course there won't be any video. It's just going to be audio, and people can watch the movie along with us. That's how it works. Like we usually like find a streaming platform and we say we're watching it here, and when we say 3, 2, 1 go, when we say go, you press play on your device or whatever, and then you keep our commentary going, and you get to hear our reaction as you're watching along. It works best if you're like looking at the closed captions of the movie so that you could read the movie clips and hear what we're saying. But yeah, I've seen Twilight before, but I haven't seen it in like 15 years, and I used to love it so much, and I don't think we're going to make fun of it necessarily. I think it's going to be making fun of it in a loving way, because I still do like it. But we are definitely going to kind of be like, oh, when he almost gets hit by the car, he's like, oh, he pushes the car away. And Bella's like, oh, like something's not right here. It's just going to be great. I'm excited. Drunk commentary sounds hilarious. Christine, I just watched your Garbagas video where you're like, Is there something wrong with me because I liked a Layman book? That was so funny. I'm gonna go back and comment on it. I haven't done it yet, but yes. So Christine recently liked a Layman book, guys. She liked, what was it called, Midnight's Lair, and it's making me want to read that before the month ends. So I kind of want to read Midnight's Lair. Is it possessive? You've seen Spookies, the 80s one? It's wild. No, it wasn't Spookies that you said. It was Night of the Creeps was what you said. Yes, Night of the Creeps. I've seen Night of the Creeps. I have not seen Spookies. I didn't know you had suggested Spookies. Right on time for pep nips. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was an accident. A coincidence. I haven't read any of the Twilight books, but the movies are iconic. Yeah, it's gonna be so fun to revisit them, and I haven't read the book in like a billion years, and I was like in love with the books when I first read them, and I didn't even like reading back then. So it's gonna be so weird, like being at such a different point in my life. Whereas before, I was like, I'm Bella, and I lost my Edward. Like, that was me back when I first read it. So it's gonna be a whole different experience this time, and that's why I think it's gonna be fun. There should be a ladies for layman group. Yes, because as a lady, it doesn't feel as bad. Because Andrew's always like, I don't like layman. But I'm like, I feel like I could say it without like it being weird that I like him. Even though I still kind of do feel weird about it. Because everyone's always like, Layman's trash and he's a perv. But I kind of think it's fun. It's like trashy pervy. I don't know. That sounds terrible. Cliff also liked that one, Midnight's Lair. The title doesn't really make sense. That's okay. I'm used to it with Layman. The Cellar. The Cellar is just one that is so unhinged. I have a feeling Midnight's Lair might be like that. I am so excited to read that one. I'm going to add it to my list if I can. Maybe I didn't mention Spookies. It's good and wild too. Yeah, I've never seen Spookies. Ladies for Layman sounds like a gang. You need to get a Layman face tattoo to be a part of it. That would be scary. Like, that's epic. That's very committal. Like, I'm gonna have a face tattoo. Ladies for Layman. Nice. Yeah, Layman, it's an acquired taste. But you know what? I've read enough by him that I think I do officially really like him. And it's safe to say when I'm going into one of his books, it's gonna be fun and, like, entertaining and fast-paced. Is it going to be, like, politically correct or like good or not pervy? No, it will be super pervy. Rumps galore. He loves to say the word rump. Ladies for Layman has to be a rump tattoo. Oh my god, I know. A rump tattoo. I've only read one. I might need to slow down with the tattoo plans. I know we can't get tattoos yet. I've read 5, but even I would be questioning getting the freaking face tattoo. Tramp stamp. Yes, it needs to be a rump tattoo. All right, guys, I'm thinking about 45 minutes, well, maybe 30. It is getting late. Let's do a 30. Okay, tell me, would you guys prefer a 30 or a 45? How about we leave it to you guys? I always say we, like there's more than one person besides me here, but it's me. I will leave it to you guys. It's not as good as when it was frozen. I will admit that. I don't mean to keep smacking, but it's like very tart. 45, says Jason. If no one weighs in, 45 will be the automatic winner. 45! I'm leaning towards 45 too, because then I could almost be done Fear by Ronald Kelly. Oh no, I'm so sorry. It's 3 a.m. I need to buy out. Great chatting to you all. Thanks for hanging out so much. I had fun talking with you. I hope you have a good night's sleep. I'm sorry it's so late. Good night. Yeah, I'm thinking about 45. It's still early on the West Coast. By the way, anybody on the West Coast, I'm thinking about you guys with that crazy hurricane. I mean, geez, I'm Pete's. Bye. 4-minute sprint, lol. 45 is best. Yeah, I'm going to do 45. Have a good night once again. Yay, 45 is good with Cat. Okay, good. Since so many people are saying 45 is cool, we're going to go the 45 route. Here I bring up the Halloween kitty. Oh, yes, the reading time is the difference. Basically, what we do during the timer is we read, or you could actually build a puzzle. So when the timer's going on, you could leave your volume up. You won't hear anything, but you will hear the cat meow when it's time to come back back and chat. So it's basically like a little 45 minute, or if we had chosen 30, or 30-minute little focus time where we all just do something that we want to get done. It could be something like just, doing laundry, or something that you really want to get done around your house. It could be reading, it could be watching a show, it could be anything you want to do. So yeah, that's basically what the timer determines. Andrew says, book songs and other magic, dreams of book songs and other magic. That would be some nice dreaming. All right, guys, so we're going to do 45 minutes. Good luck with your reading or whatever you're trying to accomplish, and I will see you guys in 45. Bye. How did everybody do? Hold on. Let me get this cat out of here. I keep closing my Kindle. I have 39 minutes left in my book at the speed I'm listening to. I think I was like 73 or 4% in on the Kindle version. And I'm really enjoying it. It's very good. They're going on this long adventure, and I'm sure the ending's going to be tense. So I can't wait to see what that is going to be like. I would have almost been done, but Paul asked me to count the books I bought on our trip because he was compiling a list of our stats of our recent road trip that he sent to our friends and family that we stayed with. If you guys want, I could read you the stats. They're pretty crazy, actually. We have a friend, like I was talking about her earlier, Gaia. She's always like, you guys do so much in a day, it like blows my mind. And then we sometimes joke, like, if Gaia was with us today, her mind would explode, because we do a lot of stuff in a day. And there's just some specific days where we do like a ton of stuff in terms of traveling and activities. So Paul like wrote down all these stats for the email, and that's why he wanted to know the number of books I purchased for the stats. So he said we traveled 2,200 plus miles, 2,238 steps walked on our Key West adventure Wednesday afternoon and evening, 20 restaurants, bars, coffee shops, dessert shops visited, 12 breweries visited, 90 minutes of Top Golf. Well, that was him, not me. 9 times Kelsey puked Wednesday night, Thursday morning after too many sugary cocktails. And that is an estimation. So it could have been more. He literally was like, how many times did you puke? I was like, are you really putting that in the stats? He's like, yeah. I was like, whatever. Anyway, 11 key lime flavored foods or drinks consumed in 2 days in the Keys, hundreds of fish, 1 turtle, 2 nurse sharks spotted on our snorkeling trip, which was incredible, and 1 dolphin swimming down the channel outside of our hotel. Yeah, I didn't tell you guys that we saw a dolphin literally like swimming outside of our hotel. 1 4-mile hike with the parents, like with Paul's parents, 4 bookstores visited by Kelsey, and 189 books purchased by Kelsey. And then he put in parentheses, don't ask how much money he spent. And he put a straight face. Like, shut up. It's my money, bitch. Anyway, those are some pretty great stats. My favorite part was the snorkeling. That was amazing. How did everyone else do? I just thought you might like to know the stats of our vacation. And it was like one of our longest vacations ever. We usually don't ever take that long of a trip. Hi, Andy. I'll be trying to make a dent in Trader's Blade before it needs to go back to the library. Sherry, you are not the worst corn ever. I agree with Christine. There's no such thing as a bad corn. You're an amazing corn, Sherry. So is Christine. So is Kat. You just popped in late. You're still a sweet corn. Better late than never. Popped like as in a popcorn. Popcorn. I read 13 pages of Trader's Blade. Awesome job, Andy. Got some more done in Mr. Magic. Are you liking that, Christine? I only got a few pages done. I have a headache that is interfering with my reading. Oh, I'm so sorry, Andrew. I hope you feel better. That's the worst. I read 40 pages of episode 13. Yes, Sarah, you're killing it. Took my shower, read 16 pages of Margaret, my video uploaded to my iPad finally, so I started watching it again, hopefully no more errors. I hope it all goes well, Kat. Hi! Jumped in during that sprint, but sadly working. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's the worst. The stat I want is the amount of drinks you had on that Crunk Life. The specific night where I threw up, we had... It depends on if you count... So we had 1 beer that I hated, so that was the first place we went. The whole day we had more because we took a nap in between. So I did have like Key West coffee, it was called. So it's like an Irish coffee, but like a Key West version. And I think the difference is it uses rum instead of Irish whiskey or whatever. So anyway, I had that at breakfast. And then we went to a rum distillery and I had instead of a pina colada, it was a key lime colada. So that was at the rum distillery. And they gave me like little, like small ass, tasters like that big, very small. Then we took a nap. So then we went out for dinner, like, a couple of hours later. And so the dinner, and before dinner stuff started more drinking. So we had I had a beer that I really hated, and then we went to we went to eat here, which was a saloon slash like regular restaurant place. I didn't like the food. I did like this more than the food. I drank about half of this. Then we went to this awesome bar, and Paul got a key lime mojito, and I got a key lime martini. So I drank all my martini, and it wasn't just in a martini glass. Like she poured the extra in a plastic cup, because the bartender has to mix all this stuff together in like a mixer, like a tall mixer thing. So it made more than what filled up the glass. And the glass had like a graham cracker crust rim. Anyway, she poured the extra into a plastic cup, put it on ice, and put it next to me. So after I finished the actual drink that was in the cocktail glass or the martini glass, I poured more in, or Paul poured the rest in. I also had sips of his mojito. So I finished my martini and the extra that was left over for the martini, took big sips of his mojito. Then we go to the final place for the night where you saw the video, Andrew, where I was like, and then like Paul caught me like, I don't know, he was trying to catch me like dancing around, and then he was like, I knew you were drunk when you were swaying and dancing around because you never do that. I was like, I know. Anyway, I got a key lime beer there. So I liked all my drinks except for the first brewery place. It had a weird aftertaste. Even Paul was like, yeah, that tastes weird. Almost like they didn't clean the taps or something. That's what it tasted like. Or it was just a weird amber. So anyway, I have had 4 drinks in a night before and been fine, but it wasn't smart to mix sugary cocktails with beer, and also just the speed of going through the places and a lot of factors at play. Like a ton of factors at play here. Anyway, Paul actually got another drink after that, and like at that point, I was waiting outside for him to get this drink to walk back to our hotel for that night. And I could tell walking back, like things were starting to get wobbly, lay down, room spinning. And that's when I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go into the bathroom and like sleep in the shower, essentially. That's sadly what happened. Very sad. Yes, I know there were stats for the spewing. Started reading Mayfly instead and got to 15%. I love Mayfly. 5 stars, easily one of my favorite reads of the entire year. I hope you like it, Froggy. The spew spreadsheet. If you're gonna spew into this. Wayne's World, anyway. I'm so sorry I read you guys that stat. One of the other gruesome tales from Southern Fried Rat and Other Gruesome Tales just gave me an idea for an insanely scary story. This has been a fun read so far. I'm about 40% of the way through. Ooh, you're moving through it quite quickly. It's a tongue twister. 189 books. Yes, it is intense. I counted for Paul. No, 189, not 79. 189. I'm about to upload a Patreon video where I showed my favorite ones from I got picked out my favorite covers. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to haul these. I found some like really great stuff. I will say some of the books are duplicates, and I'm gonna send this one to this person and this one to that person, since I already have a copy. So I was buying with other people in mind as well. Yay, everyone's saying hi to each other. Vacation stats, yeah. Just because we knew it would blow our friend's mind, because she doesn't do that many things in a day. Or she doesn't like to do that many things in a day. I am liking Mr. Magic. They keep you guessing what the F is going on, so it might depend on the ending. Fun ride so far, though. I'm glad you're liking it. Hopefully the ending delivers. I was told to ask you, Kelsey, if I could handle Mayfly. I see Froggy is reading it. I think you could handle it. I think you could handle it. I do think it gets kind of violent at the end, but there is kind of like a romance with like some sexual stuff that you might not like. So yeah, you might not like that part. I read them the stats.
Yeah, were they impressed?
Yes, especially about the spewing stats.
Yes. that was the most important part of the trip.
Yes, it was the worst part of the trip.
Yeah, highlighter I can borrow.
Yes. What color do you need?
Just regular yellow highlighter.
I think this one's glitter. You gotta shake it and press down on it.
I don't have a regular, just
well,
fat yellow highlighter.
It's probably in that. Oh wait, here it is.
There.
Just use this. Sorry. Anyway, he needed a highlighter. I think you could handle it, Kat. I just don't know how much you'd love it. I really loved it. I just think it was so well written. Oh, Kat said hi. Cat said hi. Cat said hi. He says hi. Key lime martinis are delicious. It was amazing. I don't know if I thought I was gonna be basically sworn off of key lime after that night because I mean all my stomach was gone like after that night. That's why the next day I still got sick. So because my stomach was completely empty, I drank water, started to feel nauseated again, took a Tums, and the Tums like triggered me getting sick, which you would think would be the opposite, but the Tums made me sick again. I just didn't have anything in my stomach, I think was the problem. Once I ate a burger later that day, I was feeling a lot better. I was like, thank you, burger, the American cure. That doesn't help, you're right. I am pretty small, I'm like 4'11" and tiny, and so that's why, like, I have to pace myself sometimes, and when we go on these trips especially, we do try to hit a lot of places, and usually with beer and breweries, it's actually not that big of a deal, and if I think it's getting too many places in too quick of a succession, I will just have half pours. But, like, this time, it was just I think the mixture of the different types of drinks, the speed of drinking it. Also, I didn't like the fish I ate for dinner, so like not eating as much of the dinner, I think also obviously probably affected it. So, too much going on. We actually did go to Gainesville, but Paul wants to take me there, as you know, like you both went there. He wants to take me there, like where we could actually spend. We just passed through on the way up, back driving back out. We didn't really have time to like actually stay there. And anyway, it's really crowded right now because everyone's going back to school right now, so it's like super crowded. But we did stop at a brewery today. Wait, was it today? No, yesterday. Yesterday. The days are getting mixed up. We did Swamp Head, it was called. So that brewery wasn't there when Paul went to school because, you know, he's old. Anyway, it wasn't there when he went to school there. So it was his first time being at the brewery, even though he lived in Gainesville for a couple of years when he went to school there. So yeah, we did pass through, but not very long. We also went to Culver's, which was freaking badass. Like, if you guys don't know what Culver's is, because we don't have them here in Louisiana, I only know about them from traveling like other states. Oh, frozen yogurt that tastes like ice cream. Oh, that's the best part. Also, they got great burgers, but they also make their own root beer. Anyway, we did stop at a Culver's in Florida. I was like, yes. And we went to Buc-ee's twice. That was a stat that wasn't on there. So we went to Buc-ee's on the way down to the Keys, like really it wasn't in Florida at all. I think it was in is it in Alabama where our Buc-ee's is? Anyway, on our drive down, we went to it, and our drive back today, we went to Buc-ee's again. And I was like, Buc-ee's! Buc-ee's is the best. Yeah, the semester was starting again, and we just didn't have like he did look for a hotel for one night in Gainesville, and it was just you couldn't find anything. And so that's why he's like, we'll have to go back another time where we just like, spend a little while in Gainesville when it's not super like crowded and insane like it is right now. And when we can actually experience it or whatever, because he hasn't been there in a long time either. He hasn't even been to a home game there in forever in terms of a football game. So yeah, he wants to go back and he wants me to see it because I've never really seen it except for now, whatever I saw yesterday, which was just a brewery. But yeah, we've been to Florida many times, many different parts of Florida, but we had never gone to the Keys together. And he had only been to the Keys once. So it was very fun. By the way, I think I'm going to do one more sprint. I'm not going right now. I'm just letting you guys know. I think the last sprint will be 30 minutes, and I'm hoping it's okay. I know it's getting late for everybody, or for most people, so that's why I'm going to just do one more, and it'll be a shorter one. So, all right. And I already got a banner made for last sprint. That's very convenient. Very thinking ahead of me. I think I did that like many streams ago, and it's just still saved on there. But yeah, I wish we would have spent more time there because it would have been nice to see more of that area. But we did a lot in freaking, I think it was like 8 days, 9 days. Kat says 30 minutes is great. Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry you're at work. That's the worst. I hope your work goes by quickly. I hate that. I'm already dreading to go back to work tomorrow. Not to reiterate this, but I'm reiterating it anyway. I'm like, no. Anyway, how is everybody doing with their reading? Anyone who didn't kind of check in, how are you guys liking your reads? Are you liking Mayfly so far, Froggy? You got 15% in really quickly, so I'm guessing you might have liked it. And Kat, it's hard to answer if you would like it or not. It really is hard for me to think of if you would like it or not, because there is like this kind of explicit romance between the main character and this hockey dude. But also just the language is great though, and the story is really interesting. And sorry, I'm taking off my earrings. Oh my god, it's getting late. I'm gonna take these off. I never keep on my earrings as long as I should, but just in case you guys wanted to see a close-up of the Lisa Frank earrings. Not officially Lisa Frank, but it's in the style of Lisa Frank. So inspired by Lisa Frank. You think so, Andrew? Because Andrew did read it. Christine read it and loved it too. So yeah, Mayfly with the tooth. Yeah, I loved Mayfly. Too much saucy bits for Kat, I think. Because yeah, it did get pretty saucy, a few scenes. But like, the story wasn't about that specifically, but yeah, when it got saucy, it got real saucy. Let's just say that. So, Kat, I don't know, but like the story was so good and the writing, chef's kiss. I can't believe it was CJ. What was her name? CJ Lead. I cannot believe it was her debut novel. It was so well written. Like I was like, oh, it's such a great freaking first book. Yes, I agree, Christine. The rough part involved a hairstyling tool. I did think that was the hardest part to read, even more than the crazy part in the bathroom at the end. I thought the hairstyling tool, catch, what she's referring to is similar to something that happens in a horror movie we watched together. I think you'll know what I mean. Anyway, something happens with that, and it's kind of hard to read that part, but I still love the book, though. That makes me sound so messed up. I really like it so far, but it's just kind of been the setup. Well, it's a lot in her head. That is kind of like the story is like getting to know her in her head. So I'm not sure if you're going to continue to like it or not, but a lot of action at the end. But otherwise, you're like really following her in her like day-to-day life. And she's just such a twisted person to follow, but like twisted in a fun way, if that makes sense. Way better of a twisted mind than I think than American Psycho, his mind. Oh yeah, the egg. The egg was weird too. The egg was weird. I forgot about the egg. I almost forgot about the egg. I think the hairstyling tool was pretty hard for me to read. I was like, oh no. Yeah, it is a lot of like stuff in her mind. Maeve was a 5-star for me too. It was so good. It already definitely feels very American Psycho. Yes, it's definitely got, it takes inspiration from American Psycho for sure. And I haven't even read it, but I could just tell that. And lots of other people. Yes, Sleepaway. It's exactly, yes. I didn't know Mayfly was saucy. Might be perfect for the Sextember readathon next month. Yeah, the sex scenes are spicy. Like, yeah. I think it would be perfect. And it's a great horror book in general. We were talking about it on my sprints, and our peep said to ask you, since you generally tell me what to steer clear of. I could never forget the styling tool scene. Yes. So it's like that, but more serious, though. Because, like, the movie we watched with that scene wasn't serious in that, like, it was campy or whatever. Like, the scene that we're talking about in the book is a little more serious and menacing, and you feel a little bad for the person that it's taking place on or whatever. It's not, it might not be as extreme as you're thinking, but it's still extreme. I can't explain it. I'm on the fence about recommending it to you because I think the saucy bits will be a little too saucy and I don't think you'd like that. And I mean, it is extremely violent at the very end. I feel like by the time you get to the end, you are kind of used to her messed up mind. I was, yeah. And I like, honestly, because of the Halloween bits where she was like, I love Halloween, I was like, I kind of think that's cool. Maybe that's what made me like her a little bit. Like, okay, she is messed up. I don't agree with what she does, but I did kind of like her in a way. Only have it for 2 more days on Libby, so I gotta read it now. You're pulling a Lexi, waiting to the last minute with that Libby. I know how that is. I do that too sometimes. In fact, do I even have anything checked out on my Libby right now? I thought I might have checked out Twilight already. I hope I have days left on that if I did. Part of me was like, I should wait till when me and Andrew said we're going to read it. Yeah, I don't have it checked out. Wait, do I? No, I don't. I checked out Nightblood last. That's what I was thinking of, and I already read that. All right, so I have nothing checked out. I have to get a copy of Twilight because I don't even know if I have the book that I read as a teenager at my parents' house or not. It might not be there anymore. We'll see. All right, guys, I have chatted your ears off, I know, and I'm totally hinged, which is not as fun, I'm sure. But I think we will go to our last set of sprints, and then we'll still chat for a few minutes afterwards. I just want to get our sprint in before it gets too late and peeps are getting tired, you know? So we're going to do 30 minutes. I'm going to put the little cat up. But before we go, I'm going to put the little banner on. Last sprint. What kind of noise was that? It was like country but weird. It was like last sprint. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it just might be too hardcore for you, Kat. I don't know. Let me think on it some more, but I do think there are other books you'd like a lot more that you haven't gotten to yet that you should read that are like popular. Like, sorry, I think you'd love Sundial. I know, did you ever get to Last House on Needless Street? I really think you'd still like that one. So, there are other books that you want to read that you haven't yet that I think you should get to before you even approach doing that one. Aw, thank you, Froggy. I love you. Hinged and unhinged, Kelsey, are both appreciated. Thank you. Agreed, Froggy. Oh, thank you, Andrew. I love you too. All right, so we're doing 30 minutes. Good luck, guys. I will see you soon. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, everybody. How did you do? I only have like 12 minutes left in my book. Let me take the banner off. All right, that was our last sprint. And I hope everyone had a productive time. I am loving this book. I freaking almost cried again. This book is keeps making me sad. I can't speak today. This is the book I'm reading, Fear by Ronald Kelly. It's quite an adventure, different than I thought it would be. I thought it would be all creature feature, but it's a lot more than that. And the main character, his name is Jeb, and he's so likable, and he's so sweet, and he's so lovable. And I feel so bad because he's going through so much. Christine says we have to build Cat up to Mayfly. Cat says Needless Street, Last House on Needless Street, is on my 23 to read in 2023 list. Cat says maybe. Raleigh agrees with Froggy. I'm glad you guys like the hinged and unhinged sprints. That makes me feel good. No reading this sprint, watching vlog, a few minutes away from uploading to YouTube. Woot woot. Good job, Cat. 23 more pages of Trader's Blade. Awesome, Andy. Not sure how many pages I read, but I'm 73% into Mr. Magic. Awesome job, Christine. Tanya says, I finished Vampires of El Norte. Thank you for the sprints. Thank you for hanging out. I'm glad you got to finish a book. I hope you liked it. I hope I can get to that one this month, Kelsey. I feel very behind. Honestly, no worries if you don't, because I am behind too. And I still have 2 more of my own book club books to read, which is insane. It's insane. And I also have Katrina's and Amy's to read, which I don't know how I'm going to do that. I mean, we have 11 days left, which is a good amount of days, but still, I still feel not confident in what I have to finish. So please don't worry, Christine. I read 20 pages of episode 13. I'm about halfway now. Yay! I know it's a long one, but it's an entertaining read. Damn, I need to get to Fear, clearly. It's just so, I really like the main character, Jeb. He's just so sweet. And it's a very heartwarming story, but there's parts that are sad. I'm happy I made sprints tonight. Y'all helped me be productive. I'm so happy, Kat. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for making it. By the way, I keep forgetting about your Wednesday sprints. I am so sorry. One of these Wednesdays, I'm going to be there. I'm such a jerk. Yeah, I want to know how that one was. Thanks for the sprint. I love you too, Kat. Thank you for being here. I miss you. I missed you a ton, actually, Kat. Back to Kat for a second. We gotta plan something. We gotta plan our horror movie marathons, and we gotta plan if we want to do a shopping day this year. I'm up for it if you are. I miss you. And I'm definitely up for horror movie marathon. I'm gonna be planning that tomorrow at my little Patreon planning thing. Not your typical vampire story, but good all around. I gave it 4 stars. That ain't bad. Yay! We always love a 4-star read or above. Well, I like 3.5 is usually okay too. Everyone always jokes that if I give something like a 3 or a 3.5, it means I hated it. That's not true. But a 4-star is good. I'm glad you liked it. Yes, I agree with Christine. Nice. Oh, she recently bought the same book. That's cool. Got 22% into Mayfly and posted some real life bats for oh shit, Halloween Happy. I don't think I posted today. I even took the picture. It took me like 400 tries. Damn it. I'm going to post it now, even though it's late as hell. Whatever. At least I'll do it before the day's over. Wow, why is my phone all the way to the bottom? Yeah, I took pictures of 2 bat books, which I'm actually going to be reading this week. So where are they? Where's the one I favorited? Oh yeah, here it is. So I took 2 pictures of Vespers, Nightwing, and I've got a picture of them individually too. Where is it? Dun, 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 dun. So you could clearly see I have the pictures that I took the time to take. But for some reason I did not post them. Why? So ridiculous that I did not post. I'm going to post now after we get done. So yeah, that counts as bats. Even though my whole room at home, in my parents' house, are bats. It reminds me of Katrina's post. Her room is all bats. I also have a bat room, which I think is cool that we both have bat rooms. I can't wait to see your real life bats though, Froggy. I'm gonna have to take a look. Did some work. Boo! I even forgot to put on an audiobook. No! I'm sorry you had to work. Horror movie marathon plus Halloween shopping. Yes, Kat. I'm excited. We'll have to text about the dates. I'm all up for whenever. I want to do it. And I'm going to start preparing my list tomorrow for the movie marathon during that little planning little thing. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you got to attend, but I'm sorry you've had to work, though. I'm trying to post it. It's not uploading for some reason. No, what's wrong with Instagram? Why is it being lame? I'm the worst at posting on IG or keeping up with Discord. For once, I have posted like almost 30 days in a row, which is unheard of for me. Like, usually I'm pretty good in April for old school April, but then I don't post. Like, last April, I didn't post after April until we got to October, and then I posted a few times, and then didn't post again until April of this year, and then didn't post. I started posting for this Halloween Happy, and I'm like, I'm actually posting again before it's even October. So at least I'm doing some posting, but yeah, I'm pretty bad at keeping up with it, but I'm gonna do it before bed, so it'll still count, I guess. They were real bats I got to see during research. It's so cool. Ace Ventura does not like bats. If you guys ever saw Ace Ventura 2 When Nature Calls, he's like, Guano, collect the whole set. Anyway, I know all of Ace Ventura 2. I could quote that whole movie. By the way, I'm hoping to read Slimer before the month ends and then watch the movie adaptation. I didn't realize it was a movie adaptation. Slimer is wild. There is a guy who is super, like, macho, annoying, like, misogynistic, but he's supposed to be unlikable. But just know that there's going to be a character you hate and you want him to get it because he is the worst. So there is a character like that in Slimer, but it is kind of fun. I did enjoy that one. I gave it a 4. My next sprint, I don't know when my next public sprints will be, but I will have Patreon sprints again coming up soon. And I actually have a Patreon only readathon next month, which is like carnival slash clown slash funhouse fair circus themed. But it's got prompts, so you don't have to read those types of books, but you can if you want. And I'm going to do a lot of sprints for that, but only Patreon sprints. I've been doing less public sprints only because I've been trying to do a lot of Patreon sprints because I really appreciate everyone on Patreon support. I appreciate everyone here's support too, though. I just have to make sure that I say I'm going to sprint twice for Patreon, and I have to do those. I have to do what I promised. So that's why I'm like, I got to do it first for them. But I don't know when my next like public sprint will be, but hopefully soon. I know I'm going to be sprinting a lot publicly in October because I'm going to be part of a big readathon. So yeah, I'm going to be sprinting a ton in October publicly. It'll be a crazy month. I will sprint here and there publicly between now and then, though, too. So I will try to be better about posting ahead of time. Thank you so much, Andrew. Super sprinting it with Kelsey instead of super kicking it. Like, my channel used to be called Super Kicking It with Kelsey. Long time ago. Horrible at posting. This Halloween Happy is the only time I've ever consistently posted. Yeah, I'm really proud that a lot of my friends and I have been really consistent, and it's been awesome. We have seen you be birthed out of the rhino. I know. I literally said word for word that whole rhino scene. I was like, remember when he's like, blah, blah, blah? And I was literally describing it from memory because it's like ingrained in my head from watching it like 20 times a day when I was a teenager. Not a lie. There were some days where I would finish the VHS, rewind it, play it again. I wouldn't be actively watching the like so many times in a row, but I'd like have it on like as a comfort thing in the background. And then sometimes I would stop and like watch a few minutes and then I'd go back and do what I was doing, but have it on in the background. It is ridiculous how much I love that movie. I like when he starts to like make the guy bow down because he thinks he's about to say Shikaka, like Shikaka. It's so dumb. I want to rewatch it now. Damn it! I'm not gonna rewatch it. Maybe next old school April I'll do a watch party for it. I hate the part where he like plays with his eyeball. I like, please stop. I hate that. I want to barf every time, even though I've seen it a zillion times. I'm like, the eyeball part, get out of here. We hate you, eyeball. We don't like you, eyeball scene. We hate you. Anyway, guys, who I don't hate is you guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys. I will try to be better. about scheduling public sprints, and about letting you guys know ahead of time because I really like doing these. They're so much fun, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Hopefully, you enjoyed the things you read, or you felt like you got a lot done if you didn't read. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the night and a good week coming up here. Hopefully, the week goes by fast so we can get back into another weekend. All right, guys. Good night. Thank you, Froggy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Good night. Oh, there's so many thank yous. I didn't see all these. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Good night.